following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And welcome in everybody to another episode of Tier Tuesdays here on this Tuesday evening. We appreciate you all for joining us here as we get ready to tier some things in the wide world of sports. As DJ, joined as always by my co-host Kelsey. And you know what, Kelsey, we got to watch a very, very boring game of basketball this last weekend, and we decided to bring it over to Tier Tuesdays this week.
Yeah, speaking of tears, that was me on Sunday trying to watch that game, and it's just the whole All-Star weekend. The best part about it was Sabrina versus Seth, versus Steph, not Seth, although it probably would have been better if it was Seth. Who am I kidding? It was still fun to watch. Usually the best part of the weekend, along with the skills challenge, I think is usually always fun. But yeah, I mean, overall, the game, I don't even know what you could do for the game to make it better anymore. But it's, you know what? We're talking the good tiers now.
Exactly. And we're going to talk more about that coming up on the show tomorrow as well. So you'll definitely want to tune in for that. But today we're going to tier NBA All-Star MVPs going back the last handful of years. So we're going to jump right into it here. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top. And this looks like shade, but it's not meant to be shade at all. Dame Lillard was fantastic. He deserved the MVP, but you could make a very strong case for Tyrese Halliburton, who had very similar stat lines with a little bit lower volume, higher efficiency. Both outstanding, over 30 points. Both made it. Their shots looked like it was raining down a hellfire from an Imperial Star Destroyer. They were shooting it from all over the place. Dame pulled up from on the logo a few different times. So could make a case, but still the MVP. Next, we got outstanding. Kawhi Leonard, 30 points. I think he made 7 of his first 8 3-pointers or something ridiculous like that. Very strong performance. Russell Westbrook, too, leading scorer on the winning team at about 30 points as well. Clear-cut MVP, Kevin Durant, taking this game over down the stretch, scoring 30-plus on his own as well. And then, of course, we also have LeBron, who in his almost a triple-double, 8 assists, 10 rebounds, 28 points, I believe. Elite performances, Steph dropping 50 in Cleveland nonetheless, too, coming right off of the epic rivalry with the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Goes into Cleveland and drops 50 in that one. Made 16 3-pointers on top of it, just absolutely ridiculous. Next, we got Giannis, who I don't know if many people quite remember this one, but went 16 of 16, including 3 for 3 from 3 and banked in a couple of them too. And this game was on Sunday, so that bank was closed, and he still broke in anyway. Absolutely insane performance in that game. Historic, we're keeping this quick and simple. Anthony Davis, 52 points, which was at the time the all-time points in an all-star game, followed by Jason Tatum with 55 points just this last year, breaking that record as well. So those two getting getting historic marks for them as well moving forward. And you know what? The way we saw things getting played too, they might just get broken here coming up shortly again as well too. It might not last but 366 days or so. So Kelsey, we're taking a look at some of these MVPs. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think the list is good by itself. I'm kind of surprised we didn't go back to another year to get the second Westbrook there MVP. I guess one Westbrook on the list is good enough though. But yeah, I mean,
okay. We definitely could have. I just kind of cut off it like literally at 9 as opposed to 10. But if we wanted to throw him in there, I'm probably honestly putting him in clear cut MVP at the back end of that one. Either way.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not blaming you. I honestly, more than one Russ is good enough for me. I don't want to see more than one. Let's start with historic. I think it's safe to say that these two are easily the most historic. Also, Jason Tatum was 4 rebounds shy of a triple-double there. Also posted a steal and a block during the game. Which defense anybody? Because that's the most defense I think I've seen on this list for the most part. And same thing. I mean, you're looking 52-10. Dude has 2 steals for a big man.
30 in the first half too, which was the record at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive top to bottom. Steph, though, elite performance. I mean, I might even have a conversation to say about this being even historic. His 3-point shooting alone was insane. I guess we were almost drawn used to seeing him shoot threes like that. By the way, unsung part of that game for him, 2 blocks.
You know what? I had him in historic, but for the sake of symmetry, I think I moved him down for that reason. But if you want, we moved him to historic, you're not going to see an argument from me.
I honestly, I would almost put both elite performances in historic because 1, you have the best 3-point shooting performance we've ever seen. 2, you have Giannis there with the best shooting performance we've ever seen from an all-star.
I'll give you one, but I can't give you both.
Man, that's tough. Because Giannis did it in 19 minutes and he was 16 for 16.
By the way, I forgot to mention Tier Tuesdays involves a pressure cooker on the side now as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, seriously. What is this?
Hmm.
You know what? Screw it. We're gonna say Giannis in his 19 minutes with a 35, 7, 3, 1-1, and the perfect field goal percentage. That's historic. Sorry, Steph. I love you, but no. If we're weighing those two options, I think just anybody going perfect and doing it in 19 minutes of game time is insane. Kawhi, obviously down there and outstanding. I think that's comfortable to say. It was a great performance. Russell, I'm fine with him being there. Yeah, I mean, 31, 8, 5, and 5. That's an impressive stat line. Nobody's really ever posted a 30 plus 5 and 5 game. I think that was also historic, but I'm going to leave him down there. I think it was outstanding in its own right. Just again, one Russ is enough for me on the list. Clear cut MVP. I don't have any question about these two. I think these two are more than comfortable with where they are. Braun needs to get 2 assists, and somehow the one time in his career he doesn't get 2 assists despite the opportunity. He can't do it. It's shocking to me. And KD, there was nothing to say about him in that game. He was just dominant in that game. So I'm cool with the rest of the list, but the big ones obviously being Steph and Giannis. I think those are the only two that I had a question of whether we can move those to historic. And as we saw, I'm having to pick and choose here now on our tiers list. Who knew? Who knew we were so stingy with our historic performances?
Well, I mean, it's historic. You can't have historic be that thick of a category. Now, if you want to put up Steph, you could demote somebody else now.
But that's the problem. I can't. I mean, if I was going to demote one, I think I have to demote probably Ant out of that, and I can't justify that because at the time it was a historic performance. I mean, that's the weird thing is I feel like both Steph and Giannis, their performance won't be touched. Like those are insane stats. You don't go perfect shooting more than 10 times, whether you do it in an All-Star game or not. And then on top of that, to do it in only 19 minutes, you literally shot one shot almost a minute and you hit it.
Yeah, and on top of that, too,
Every single time. And we're talking Giannis shooting threes. We all know how bad that is.
Exactly. In these games, they turn into basically a catapult contest from who can shoot the deepest three, most ridiculous three. It's kind of hard to shoot perfect when you do that. And Giannis still shot up a few what are you doings, and they went in, including the bank shot from hell. That makes no sense still. So I'm in agreement there. You're not going to see 16 for 16 probably again to that level, especially at that level. Anthony, all-time leading scorer at the time. Jason, all-time leading scorer in NBA All-Star game currently, or in single performance, I should say. So, and you know what? As we kind of joked about at the top, the way they play defense now, this thing might flip on its head next year. We'll have to wait and see, but there's a whole lot of change that can come. But here's what we're looking at for Tier Tuesdays. Let us know down below what you thought of the NBA, what you think of the list with NBA All-Star MVPs, and who would you move if you had the opportunity to as well, too? And let us know what you thought about the NBA All-Star game as well. Be sure to tune in to hear our full thoughts on our Wednesday show at 8 p.m. Eastern time or anywhere you like to catch your favorite podcast. We will see you all again next time.